On the evening of June 22nd, Trump dropped a political nuclear bomb on his favorite Truth Social platform. The original words were, "Although the term regime change is not very politically correct, but if the current Iranian regime cannot make Iran great again, then what's wrong with changing the regime?" This is a harsh statement. This is not a slip of the tongue or a slip of the tongue. This is a naked public call. Iran, your drama is coming to an end. What's even more exciting is that when Trump made this statement, his cabinet members were still putting out fires everywhere, saying, "We are not here to change the regime. We are just knocking on the door," and blowing up a few nuclear facilities by the way. As a result, Trump directly knocked down the door with a hammer and put a poster on the door. The regime is not afraid of being overthrown. What I fear most is that someone says it can be overthrown. Just kidding. The information density of this issue is very high. Please read the end. There is also a Ministry of Foreign Affairs Easter egg at the end that you will never expect. Historically, the US government has never changed the regime. As long as you can count, the United States has participated in it, overthrowing Mossadegh, getting rid of Noriega, supporting Suharto, supporting the Chilean military government, and getting rid of Saddam, either directly taking action, or remotely controlling the opposition, or funding militants. But if you carefully read the speeches of the US presidents in recent years, at most, they say some diplomatic terms such as fighting for democracy, defending human rights, and eliminating the threat of dictatorship, even if it is clearly to blow up the leader of the other party into a fireball and hang a rope around his neck. They will add a sentence, "We are not seeking regime change and we just have to do it." Behind this is actually a kind of political respectability of old school Washington. You can do it, but you can't say it. Saying it out is a provocation, and it is to expose your trump card on the international stage. But Trump is not that kind of person. On June 22nd, he posted an explosive post on his Truth Social platform. He did not beat around the bush or hide anything. He directly wrote, "Although regime change is not a very politically correct term, if the current Iranian regime cannot make Iran great again, then why not change the regime?" He also deliberately added the phrase politically incorrect as a joke, as if to say, "Yes, I knew you guys wouldn't dare to say it, so I said." This is the real Trump moment. This is not the first time Trump has done this. How should I put it? It's called a mouth that's more powerful than a fist. Why is his mouth more powerful than a fist? Because everyone knows that he is a person who can punch, and a person whose punches can be fatal. As early as his first term, he broke many unspoken rules of diplomatic rhetoric, such as calling Kim Jong-un a rocket man, and mocking the Venezuelan president at the United Nations General Assembly. His hairstyle is worse than mine, but this time is different. This time he said change a regime instead of changing a person. And he said it to Iran. You know, one of the most sensitive regime change operations in American history was the conspiracy between the United States and Britain in 1953 to get rid of Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mossadegh and support King Pahlavi to return to power. As a result, the Islamic Revolution broke out in Iran decades later, which led to today's tough system of combining politics and religion. So when Trump said to the Iranian government, "You don't deserve to stay, and I'm going to replace you," the world knew that the Americans had done it and succeeded before, and they were not just talking nonsense. Trump was restating what American presidents had not said, but often did for 70 years, changing the regime, and he used a tone that was almost slogan-like. This was not only breaking diplomatic taboos, but also launching a psychological warfare with language, telling the world and Tehran. Everyone also knew that it was telling Beijing to change the regime. From today on, There is no need to cover it up. If Trump's regime change post was like a bomb, then the time when the explosion occurred was a carefully designed plot reversal moment. Let's first review the timeline of this political series. At 8 a.m., U.S. Secretary of Defense Hegseth, wearing a neat suit, stood in front of the media and read the lines. This strike is not aimed at the Iranian regime. Our goal is nuclear proliferation. Less than an hour later, Secretary of State Rubio also appeared on the show. He continued to smooth things over with the same tone. We have no intention of replacing the Iranian government. We are just preventing the situation in the Middle East from escalating further. At almost the same time, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance added a sincere knife in the meat to the press column. We are not at war with Iran. This is just a precise military decision. This whole set of firefighting process is a crisis public relations script. All departments quickly went online with a consistent caliber. They quickly put down the ripples caused by the 4 words regime change. This means that we don't want to seize power or ask you to change the regime. It's just that you are too cruel. You have nuclear weapons and we will destroy you. Destroy the nuclear weapons. The attack on Iran is just to vent Israel's anger. This is what many people think. By the way, knock on the bunker has no other meaning. But here comes the problem. You have to see who. At 4:55 p.m., Trump came online and directly overturned all the scripts in the previous few hours. Although the term regime change is not politically correct, but if the current Iranian regime can't handle it, make Iran great again mission, then why not change the regime? Meager. As soon as this post was published, diplomats from all over the world took out their blood pressure medication at the same time. Can you imagine the expressions of Rubio and Vance when they saw this sentence? Even the TV station backstage staff couldn't help but curse after reading the text message on their mobile phones. This plot twist is too fast. We just finished filming and it changed. This is a typical Trump-style double act. The White House sang to appease and Trump sang to inflame. Those White House said to tell allies to keep steady. Then Trump told enemies to get out. They said it's not a regime change. He said, why not change another one? But in other words, do you say this is internal chaos in the United States? No, this is not internal chaos. This is political manipulation. Trump proved with his actions that I am not impulsive. I am here to dominate the narrative. Around 10 p.m., he sent another message. Huge damage to all Iranian nuclear facilities, as shown in satellite images. Annihilation is an accurate word. Do you see that white building? It's buried deep under the rock. Even the roof is below the surface, completely fireproof. But that's where the worst damage was. Bullseye. Think about what President Trump meant by saying this. It's not just a slap in the face. Response to those who said US military fired blanks and in military uniforms. After the shooting, let me tell you how it was shot. As for this deep strike operation codenamed Operation Midnight Hammer, we will reveal the tactical details and psychological layout of the whole process in our channel's Breaking News Wednesday special program. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, the day after, Iran's general stared at the western sky, watching 125 fighter jets, a nuclear submarine, and electronic decoys flying all over the sky. They thought the US military was coming from there. The entire command system looked to the west, busy, as if they were desperately dispatching an airstrike defense war. But they didn't know that they were watching a carefully planned magic show, and that they had become characters in the show. The real blow was not the explosion in front of them. It was a psychological ballet. a dance between strategy and illusion, just when Iran was still counting the fake moves in the West. How many planes were coming? The real ghost quietly came from the east, the B-2 stealth bomber, with an angelic height, ghostly silence, passed through the radar's corner and started the mission. Divine revenge, no warning, no ultimatum, no loud "we are coming," only precise penetration. After the silence, there was a shock deep underground. When Tehran finally realized the problem, those nuclear toys hidden in the rock strata and buried deeper had already turned to ashes under high-precision punishment. Those who still said the attack is ineffective, Israel is just pretending. Let's wait until Wednesday's member program to see what the real decapitation tactics are. I am collecting and studying comprehensive, extensive and reliable intelligence. Let's continue. Tehran, late at night. The airstrike has just passed. The night sky of the Iranian capital still retains the smell of burning after the explosion. The subway is out of service, the power is out, and the internet is paralyzed. The heartbeat of the city seems to have been temporarily strangled. At this time, Iran's supreme leader Khamenei is not in the presidential palace or the mosque, but in a military bunker buried deep underground. He communicates with the outside world through what he calls the messenger, the person he trusts most. He dared not use the phone, dared not turn on the video, and dared not touch any electronic device, because he knew that as long as this was turned on, it would attract the enemy's bombs like a beacon. He is afraid that is fear of assassination, fear that the next bomb will not hit the nuclear facility.